Hello everybody and welcome to my 100% walkthrough of Elden Ring by Level Up Pub Gaming. So right off the bat, I'm back here at the Shaded Castle on this ledge. I accidentally pressed the OK key while I was getting my notes ready and everything like that. So this was that item that I slipped off and couldn't grab. It's a stone sword key, so I wanted to grab that, and I missed one other piece of loot that I'm going to show you guys. I noticed it when I was going over my video last night, the last episode, so I apologize. And if I miss stuff like this, you know, I'm not too prideful that I won't admit it and go back into the next episode and go back into an area to grab a loot that I missed. So yeah, there's a lot of golden eyes out for some reason. But the loot I missed is right up here. Right down here. Oh, nope, that was a sign. Okay. I thought it was a loot. My goodness. Alright, so I guess I didn't miss a loot. Haha. I could have sworn I saw an item there when I was going through my notes in my videos last night, so go ahead and try and get these zombies to de-aggro from me so I can open up my map and show you what we're doing for this episode. Come on, guys. There's no way you can see me. I'm all the way over here. Leave me alone. Wow. There's like no one over here. What in the world could possibly still... It's this zombie. My gosh. Yeah, let's go do this. Let's just jump out of this castle. I hate this place. We're never coming back to it. Well, actually, I take that back. We are coming back to it towards the end of the game. But not to fight anything. Just to do some stuff. Oh, Lord. Really? Still thinks I'm in combat. It's like, how far do I gotta go? Let me open my map. What in the world, you guys? You can hear that. Dun, 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 dun. That's me trying to open my map. It still thinks I'm fighting something. Good lord. This is getting aggravating. Oh my goodness. My apologies, you guys. So, last episode, I couldn't find Raya. And the reason why was because we took this Grand Lift Adectus. Last 6 playthroughs, I had gone up into the Altus Plateau, through the rune-strewn precipice, and never once took the Grand Lift Adectus. But because we took the Grand Lift Adectus, that's where she is. And literally in the last episode, after I went up in the lift, she's standing right there to the left, and I run right by her, so... I did not know that the Grand Lift was a trigger to bring her over there because I've never taken it before. I mean, I've taken it to catch the cutscene and everything like that, but I did not know that it was also a trigger for her cutscene, so my apologies, but it's good to know that the game didn't glitch out and we didn't ruin her quest. She is just right here. So to start off with this episode, let's go ahead and go talk to her and head over to Volcano Manor. There she is.
I've been waiting for you. I knew you had the stuff of champions. I hereby invite you to the Volcano Manor. Take my hand and have audience with my mistress.
So we are going to take her hand, but we're going to not talk to her mistress.
Give me your hand. I will pray that you follow the same path as Lady Tanith.
Okay, guys, we are in Volcano Manor. That is a Crucible Knight, and that is a lady next to her, so can't attack in here, so don't go up and talk to her yet. If you do, it will cut a bunch of quest lines short and bring them into here, and you'll miss out on a bunch of dialogue and all sorts of stuff, so do not talk to anybody in the Volcano Manor. Just grab this grace. We're going to head right out. We're going to ride past everything. We're going to grab a few loots, and we're going to grab a grace and the map fragment. And then we're headed on out of here. We'll come back later. So, ignore this giant. Excuse me. We're going to come over here and grab this Ash of War. And this seed. Golden seed should give us enough for another flask. Why don't you just... Alright, let's see what this thing's coming at. It's got a pretty long circle. Trying to give it a sword dance as it's coming up. Alright, through and through, so now we can put that on a bow, just in case it doesn't have it. It's for the great bows. Excuse me, great bows. So we got a couple of big hands down here that we want to avoid. I believe it comes in through that item over there. It's right there, actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down over this edge right here. We're going to get chased by a spider hand. That's okay. Just let it chase you. Shouldn't be able to catch you. Don't try and grab that. A bunch of spider hands will come up. Just want to grab this map fragment, and that's going to attack you. It's okay. Ooh. Ooh. Alright, just take off. Run all the way down here, and it'll stop chasing you. Don't attack anything down here. Specifically this zombie right up here. Don't attack it. This one that's on fire, leave it alone. Do not touch it. So the hand should give up after a second. That will morph into something else, and you are not ready to fight it. So do not touch that zombie. There's some sacramental buds up over there guarded by some guards, but like I said, we're just here to grab this grace, and then we're heading on out. Just want to make sure this guy goes back up to his spot. Alright, this is Mt.Gelmir. So, we're not going to be doing anything in here anytime soon, but it's nice that we have the full map for that side of the map. So let's go on back over to the Altus Plateau. We're gonna tackle Lux Ruins. There's a Demi-Human queen in there to fight. And then we're gonna make it nighttime, fight a death or a knight's Calvary. Then we'll come up here, clear out these camps, go do an Evergaol. And then from there, we got a boss right here, and then a cave right there. And then we'll head up over and grab a grace, and then we're going to spawn off and stop clearing out the Altus Plateau and go do some stuff for some quests. So let's get to work. Of course, in between episodes, I went and I farmed for crafting materials and stuff like that. I didn't level up because I leveled up at the end of the last episode, so... Alright, got Demi-Humans up in this ruins up here, so... Get ready to deal with that. You can hear him growling right there. There you go. There's a couple of big ones, the Demi-Human chiefs in there too, so be wary of them. Like I said, make sure you're picking up as many of these Atlas blooms as you see. Go out of your way to get them. Down there, it's actually closed off down here, but this just leads down. Oh, there's a little goodie here. Some string. Watch out for these little ones. If you're off torrent, they will jump on you and do a critical. So don't want to get off torrent when those little ones are running around, because they can catch you pretty easily. They are very, very, very agile and fast. So if you can, be on torrent, but if you see them, like, hold up your shield or something, because if they get a hold of you, man, they'll do a serious critical on you. Looks like you're gonna run away too. Alright, you guys. Turn my lantern on since it's nighttime. And as always, go around the entire perimeter. I think one of the big ones is right there. Yeah, there he is. So you can bring him out and fight him on torrent. You know, Make your life easier if you want. Ooh, he's jumpy. It's a good opportunity to come up and give them the business when they're screaming. So if they ever run up to you and just start yelling, just start hitting them. I think there's one more big one somewhere, but we'll go ahead and go around and grab all the foliage and goodies. That always freaks me out when the frost bursts after they're dead. Always makes me think they're still alive. So leave the balls right there. Oh yeah, it's one of the ranged ones, so let's go ahead and hop off. Oh, see, he's trying to give me a critical. Be careful, these little ones. Oh, there's one right there. Not so much I don't want to be critical, so I gave him a sword dance. Alright, I think he disappears down over here somewhere. Or is it out over here? Yeah, it's one of the ranged ones. You gotta shoot it with a spell or a bow. Oh, where'd it go? Okay, so down there is Lux Ruins, where we came in last episode, where I thought Raya was supposed to be. Maybe the Ash of War actually disappears. I always thought that it reappeared somewhere else and you got free chances, but guess not this one. I gotta have to sit down inside of Grace and respawn it. Curled on the rest of the Demi-Humans. Stay still. I think there were two little ones over here. Excuse me. Alrighty, so make sure you come out here and grab the foliage. Very important. Oh, hi buddy. Give me, please. Just... Alright, let's go fight the Demi-Human Queen. And I'll come back for that Ash of War. So, you know the drill. We fought these things before. If you wait long enough, it will throw its staff at you and then start doing some really crazy attacks. So, just want to get in, bleed it really hard, frost it. Try and get it, that's fun to cleanse me. Yeah, just try and get it stun locked so it can't do any of its stupid moves. Go ahead and put that on. And these rooms are so small, you're not going to have enough time to buff up your Mimic, so just go ahead and summon and get right to it. Excuse me. Okay, let's go. Ooh, get some good staff. There it is. That's fine. Thank you, Mimic. Appreciate your help, as always. For our troubles. Get the Ritual Sword Talisman, which is really awesome. As long as you're at full health, you get a 10% boost to your attack power. And we'll find a shield one that gives you a boost in defense as long as you're at full health. Very handy for boss fights where you don't plan on taking any hits. Pop that on, you just add 10% boost at all times as long as you don't take any hit. Oh, I missed you. Alright, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to sit down this Grace and come back up and get that Ash of War. I apologize. Could have sworn it was one of those ones that disappeared just like over the edge of wherever it was at, and then you have to go give it another shot, but this one just disappeared altogether. So these guys' clubs, they have blood loss on them. I think they're a great club, or a great hammer, so not a bad weapon at all. Should take this guy out, something chasing me. He's pretty nasty. Take out these two little ones. Hey, wake up, guys. Yeah, it's tricky hitting them with the scythe. Okay. See if we can give this a nice frenzy burst. That'll do it. There's shield crash. Very similar to shield bash, except for it's like extended. So you kind of like drag your shield across the ground and push the enemy back a little bit. I don't think it does as much damage as shield bash does. So, but it's a different kind. It works good for bloodstained dagger. That has blood loss on it. It's a knife, and it scales with strength, I believe, too. So, pretty cool weapon. If you're on the strength side of things, you're looking for a dagger, has blood loss. These guys drop them. Oh, thought I saw him. That was blue. But what was I talking about? The shield crash. It goes good with the winged insignia talisman because it's like successive attacks as you're pushing the enemy back with the shield. So very trippy. I'm not sure how late it is, so I'm going to go ahead and sit down at the Grace and make it nighttime just to make sure it doesn't turn into morning, because that can happen if you're fighting a boss at nighttime and it's late night and it's almost morning. You only have a few minutes, and then once it turns into morning, the boss will just disappear. So if you're going to fight a boss at nighttime, make sure you sit down at the side of Grace and make it nighttime. Plus we got to add a charge to our flask. Let's see where we're at. 8 and 4, that's pretty good. We only got one more. It's nighttime. Let me take a check real quick what's in my flask. Wow, that does not look like nighttime, does it? Looks like it just went to morning. But this is nighttime, so interesting. Alright, faith and dexterity. Yeah, we'll keep that. Don't need this heal anymore. Let's put on the dragon tail again. Or we could play with some lightning spells. Haven't really tried any lightning yet. Sure, we'll try some lightning. Honed bolt. Let's give it a shot. Never played around with any lightning spells in this game yet, so. Alright, so we want to take out these golems first because we don't want them shooting arrows at us and attacking us while we're trying to fight the Knight's Calvary. So let's go ahead and go give him some. See if we can get him to stagger. Just don't want his friend to see us. Come on, dude. Come on. Oh, got him. I think that's safe enough. Oh, whoa. I didn't know he could swipe back like that. Good to know. It's hard to get staggers off with the slash weapon. Oh, missed the repost. That's not good. Let's see if we can get him frosted. Fire. down. More trouble than you're worth, buddy. At least his friend won't be that bad. But we definitely want to take him down because he will shoot us with arrows while we're fighting this Knight's Cavalry. What? He saw me? That's not fair. Stop dancing. Lord. This one I would have used. There we go. Drop me some arrows, thank you, buddy. Alright. Got Knight's Cavalry coming up on this road here, guys. He might be a little further up the road, so just keep running, you'll see him. I still got Flame Cleanse me on. Dang it, I do. Oh, thee well. So we really want to wait until he's coming up this direction because there's a bunch of guards walking and patrolling these streets right now, so... Ah, dang it, he's walking away. See if we can get a knife thrown at him or something. I'll go ahead and buff up now. Blazed right through that, didn't you? Wow. In a punk. Oh my goodness. This guy's pretty angry at me. Oh. Oh, he's... Why is that catching me? Grr. That's ticking me off. Just barely missed him. Oh no, I'm looking onto those sheep. There we go. What's up, buddy? What's up? What's good? That's right. Shared order. Not entirely too sure what that does. Let me see. Oh, it's an actual war. Where are my ashes? Skull of Gordon, Order Fundamentalist Knights. Grant the armament and those of nearby allies holy essence, highly effective against those who live in death. Ah, so it's another elemental buff for your weapon. That's pretty cool. Alright, so now that we're done with that Knight's Cavalry, I'm going to go ahead and sit down, have a rest, fill up our flasks, and then we're going to go clear out all of this area. There's some omens over here. Clear out these camps, and then head down into this Evergaol and take care of that. And the Evergaol is a boss that you've fought before. But now we get to fight him one-on-one, no summons. Everything up this street we're going to leave for later. There's nothing important up there that we need to have at this moment. So we'll come up here, and there's 2 guards right here. We'll go ahead and take them down, and that'll aggro this knight to come out and check it out. And then when he's walking back up, we'll go up and repost him, so... He's like, alright, they're dead, so I don't see anything wrong here. Probably should have pulled his shield out. There we go. It's very rude. Oh, shoot! Oh, yeah, that hurt. Oh, good lord. Nice, got his armor. And grab some of these old fangs. Now we're gonna go head up kind of above where Corrin is. And then head south from there. And don't worry about what's on the east side of the road over here. We'll get to that pretty much towards the... hopefully towards the end of the episode. Just come to right about here. Yes. So right about here, then we'll just drop on down. We'll start clearing everything out, grabbing all the goodies that you see. And we will come up to there from another area, so don't worry about that. I believe over there is a church. Yes, okay, so we'll do that church in another episode. We're going to get a really, really good twin blade from that church, and a really good katana. There's an arteria leaf over here you don't want to miss. So don't go near that church. There's a lot of dangerous stuff in that church. In fact, you can see the helmet of one of our friends laying on the ground right there in that church. He's waiting for us. So don't worry, we're going to come talk to him in the next few episodes. Let me go ahead and read this. First defense of Lindell. The Sovereign Alliance rots from within. Traces yet remain of bloody conspiracy. Alright, so... So we're just making our way down around here, all the way down to these camps that we can clear out. Just grabbing foliage and goodies. And we got some omens coming up here to take care of, so get ready to fight. There's some blood dogs here. Blood dogs mean that when they bite you, they will cause rot buildup. I should say rot dogs instead of blood dogs, I guess. Cat, what are you doing? Sorry, my cat was knocking some stuff around in the other room, freaked me out. Because I'm home alone, so it's always nice to hear noises in the other room when you're home alone. But it's just my cat. It's just my cat being hyper. Alright, so got 2 or 3 of them. I want to go up here and take out this one first. And these guys are bulky, man. They pack a punch. Don't mess around with them. Just want to get them out of here as soon as you can. I honestly feel bad for these enemies. You can actually hear this one dreaming, and they laugh in their dreams. So, we're going to wake this guy up, try and get him away from his buddy. Come on. No, don't go back to sleep. Come on. Alright, there you go. So we just want to get him away from his buddy. There you go. Good boy. Oh no! Don't do that. There you go. Who's our big boy? Alright. Now, the ones with swords, and as I say this, I'm probably going to get smashed, but are pretty simple to parry for the most part. Oh, except for that, I don't think you can parry that. But, or that. Two-handed swings, don't try and parry. Anything like that. But just stuff like this, you can parry. But if they're charging up for those combos and stuff, yeah, stay well away from that. That'll most likely go right through. Alright, got a perfume bottle for our troubles. Very, very good loot. Let's see if there's anything up here. I don't think there was. Well, there's a mushroom. Need mushrooms, so. Alright, now we're making our way down. Like I said, we want to come backwards into these camps over here because if you try and come in forwards, they're going to launch a bunch of ballistas at you, so. Should be a lot of knights to deal with in here. And a pumpkin head. Alright, so we'll just start from the left and work our way to the right. There's the pumpkin head. Oh, I missed it. Well played, pumpkin. Well played. Alright, so first ballista should be up over here, I think. Ah, there he is. Alright, what have we got in here? Just got some guards. What in the world are you doing? What? Man, he's got to get his steps in for the day, I guess. Did you just fuck off? It's like, how is this guy doing? Well, that was kind of interesting. Chopped him up so hard he went flying through matter. So did that guy. That's interesting. Alright, that should be all the ballistas, so now we can go fight what's left in the camp and collect all the goodies. And then we'll head on down for a super fun Evergaol. There's a horse right there. Let's go give him the what fur. Sorry, horsey. Ooh, got that great shield. Should be one more knight. Yeah, there he is. What's up, buddy? He's got a sword. You know what that means, guys? Time for a parry. That's what's up. Take this guy out. No more parry fun. Got more guys coming. Don't want to get grouped up on it. I think that's everybody. Oh, another thing, down at the bottom of this camp, not only would they shoot ballistas at you that are on fire, but there's a ton of barrels down there full of gunpowder and gasoline that would have blown you up in just one hit. So yeah, definitely have to come into this camp backwards. But like I said, we should be good to roll on in now and collect what's in here. Yep. So there's a treasure chest right here. Troll's golden sword. I believe it's a colossal weapon. These strength boys out there. And girls. There's one more chest in here somewhere. Alright, Great Shield Talisman. Boost your guarding ability so it'll make your blocks even more blockier. It'll make the attacks bounce off really easily. These little guys are just way more aggressive than they should be. Those guys knock me off torrent more than any other enemy I've had in the game knock me off torrent. They just run up and they start swinging with their little knives and I can't get away and it locks you in place and you just fall down. It makes you really angry. Alright. That is everything in here. Let's go ahead and make our way through this little valley over to the Evergaol. Now, this valley is going to have some vulgar militiamen. They're going to start throwing stuff at you. Just ignore them. Like I said, all vulgar militiamen, except for the ones in Caelid, give you less runes than the ones in Caelid, so it's just pointless to fight them. You know, if you want to farm them for their weapons or something like that, then go to Caelid and do it. Because at least there you'll get 1,000 runes a piece, whereas here it's like 300, maybe 400 a piece. So not worth it. Just ride by them. Grab the loots they're guarding. I mean, if you want to swing at them, you can, but I just try to ignore them. Oh, see? Wasn't even worth it just to take a hit. Another thing that I should have mentioned a long time ago when I did grab it, I just didn't bother. I'm gonna piece you up just for hitting me. How'd that feel, huh? So here's a little tip. With the equipment that we have, I forgot that we picked up this Blessed Dew Talisman, and it slowly restores HP. So as you're riding around, you don't want to waste any of your flasks, you know, and you're exploring like we are right now. Just go ahead and slam that on, and before long, we'll be healed. You know, you can also put on Bestial Vitality if you got the Faith and stuff like that for it, but if you don't, but you did get this talisman by going to this tower, all the way down here in the Weeping Peninsula, the Tower Return. You take that portal, and it'll take you all the way to this Grace right here. And then there's going to be a golem. You'll see a golem right in front of the Grace. And then to the right of him is a treasure chest. Just run in, grab that, and then run back out. And that's the Blessed Dew Talisman. And so we have it, and it's just slowly going to tick, 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 heal us up a little bit. So before we do the Evergaol, we're going to go up here. I think there's a couple of Arteria leaves or Trino lilies to grab. And that'll let me heal up a little bit, and then we'll go fight the Evergaol. So let's talk about the Evergaol while we're doing that. The Evergaol is Godric the Grafted. So the main boss that we fought in Stormvale Castle is who we have to fight now. We have to fight him on our own. So I like to keep a distance. He's really susceptible to bleed and frost, obviously. Oops, excuse me, I just hit my microphone. I hope that wasn't too loud. He's really susceptible to bleed and frost, and of course poison and rot. So I'm going to hit him with the rot breath as soon as we come in, get him rotted. He's probably going to hit me for doing that. That's okay. It's worth it. And then I'll try and keep my spacing from him since he doesn't have a dragon in the room. So here's the Arteria leaf. Since he doesn't have a dragon in the room, he's not going to go into his second phase like he did. Oh, this guy's your back. he's not going to go into a second phase like he did in Stormvale Castle and put a dragon on, start spewing fire. But I think his blade wind attacks that he shoots at you does have flame on them, just starting out, even like right at the start of the battle. So that does a little bit of extra damage, and he's obviously more tankier and tougher this time because it's later in the game. So it is a repeat fight, but we do have to do it. So let's go ahead and get on down. I'd say we're pretty much caught up. The Beastful Fatality will take care of the rest. Grab this. Like I said, you can hit these things and they'll drop some rune fragments, I think. See, every single one will drop an item, a rune fragment, and you can make rainbow stones and stuff from them, but aside from that, they'll leave you alone. But once they do, actually, once you hit them and they come alive, they'll start swinging and spinning around and stuff, so gotta use Stone Sword Key to get into this one. Alright. Golden Lineage Evergaol. Let's get into it. Alright, so as always, get a second to make some stuff before we go in. I think 5 would be enough. I want to hit him with some heavy fire, so let's make 2 of these, a bunch of these, and we'll do the rest with just regular bombs. Alright, so let's go ahead and make one of these Blood Boil Aromatic. It's going to raise our attack and our stamina. And this is going to raise our attack, defense, and stamina, and gives us a bubble to negate 1 incoming attack. So, pretty awesome. Let's do this. No, poison. And then I'll oil him. And I'll set him on fire. And of course the kukris for bleed. Don't want this on anymore. Alright, let's get buffed up and go fight Godric the Grafted. Man, forgot to take off Flame Cleanse Me. I'm a dork. Oh, I don't have the Rot Breath on. No. Thought I had that on. Oh well. Let's see what we can do. Let's try this. At least we'll poison him, I guess. Alright, 2 more buttons. Alright, Godric. Let's get it, boy. Oh, whoa. Oh, a long radius. Poison yet? Oh, dang. Cost me a hit. Oh man, that's got some reach on it. Should probably just jump that next time. I thought I could get around him. It's a bad idea. There's some blood loss. Oh, I thought I could roll into him. Guys, don't be ashamed if you struggle with that because he's pretty intense, but before that we get one of the legendary talismans in the game, the Godefroy icon. This talisman only works with certain charged attacks. It does not work with all attacks that you think are charged or just any attacks that you do with the weapon art. It only works with about 10 different attacks in the game. So I forgot what that list was. Let me go ahead and look that up and I'll tell you next episode. So I believe the Sword and Knight in Flames attacks are one of them that it does work with, but I can't remember what all 10 of them were, so let me look that up and I'll let you guys know in the next episode. But it only works with certain attacks. It doesn't work with all quote-unquote charged attacks. Alright, so we're not done with the fun. We got a Fallingstar beast next. That's the thing that we fought in the Celia Crystal Tunnel, I believe. Oh, we got enough for a level up, though. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, we can talk to Melina here. I believe she just tells us to talk to Bach a little bit. Or no, that was in Learning of the Lakes. Alright, let's go ahead and talk to Melina.
Your seamster, Bach. I see him crying from time to time. I think he misses his mother. He wants someone to tell him he's beautiful. Does being born of a mother mean one behaves in such a manner?
So that's actually a hint for Bach's quest on what we need to do in the future, so just keep that in mind, what she said right there. It's really interesting.
Shall I turn your runes to strength? Let my hand rest upon you. For but a moment, share them with me. Your thoughts, your ambitions, the principles you would follow.
Alright, you guys, we are super close to a level up. So before we go fight this thing, just in case I die, you don't want to go into a boss fight, especially a difficult one, with a pocket full of runes. You just don't. So I'm going to go ahead and go up to the birds. That's what I recommend you do. If you're this close, you're just like a few thousand away, you go up to the birds, is what I call it. So take out these two real quick, and then we work our way all the way up to those 3 birds on the edge. Get their feathers, and then we go level up. Call it good. I forgot. Over here, I said there wasn't anything worth grabbing, but there is, I believe, a Omenkiller or an Arteria leaf. A Omenkiller lily or an Arteria leaf over here somewhere. Let's see if I can find it for you guys. But it's guarded by all these guys, so it's like I'm not even sure if it's worth grabbing. Yep, here it is. 1 Omenkiller lily, all the way over here. That's it. All the rest of it is just a bunch of these guys and poison traps. And I mean more than you can fight. The rest of the field is extremely spread out to where it's not so dangerous to fight them. But over there, it's just a death trap. It's meant for you to, you know, wander into it while you're running away from the Knights Cavalry on the bridge. So, yeah. Aside from that Omenkiller lily, nothing over there but death. So that was the grab right there that he just tried to do. If he had grabbed me, he would have done some vicious damage. That's why I gave him a 1-2 in the face for it. You don't want to get grabbed by these guys. What? Oh. Hey, he was jumping in the air, man. They're fast. They're way too fast. Do we have any death root? Sure hope we don't. No, we don't. Okay. So I'll make sure that we've been giving Gronk his death root. Which, even if you're not in the faith side of things, you want to do that because it ends with a Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone. So, You only get a certain amount of those in the game. Bringing your weapons up to max is very, very, very useful, especially when you're fighting the last few bosses. So you don't want to sleep on that. I always recommend, you know, if anybody plays this game, that they do the first walkthrough, or the first playthrough, I'm sorry, at 100%. They do everything. Do all the quests, get all possible endings, and then on your preceding playthroughs you can make different decisions. And oh, we got one with the golden eyes. That's 5,000. Ooh, I should have been wearing the gold talisman, the gold scarab talisman too, to up the rune acquisition, but yeah, it's okay. Don't do it. Alright, so these are the birds. We just come up here, take everything out to the birds. Get their feathers. That's how I've been getting all the foul foots and feathers that I have for this playthrough. It's just by getting those 3 birds right there over and over and over again. Alright, let's go level up and go fight a Fallingstar beast. Fun, fun, fun. But I need to change my spells too. Take off Flame Cleanse Me. Alright, this one's clean. First we'll do buffs. Do long distance attacks. And then we'll do the dragon. Trying to decide which fire attack I want. This one doesn't take up as much FP. This one takes up a ton, but it does a really insane amount of damage. But I'll go ahead and do the Frenzy Flame for now, and then we'll do the Crucible incantations. Alright. Alright, you guys. So before we go into... So now that there's an Ash of War on the street that we're going to get before the end of the episode. Just not going to do it. Well, there it is. It's right there. So right here, you see this little wind? That's an Ash of War, Earthshaker. So right here on this part of the road, just right down there from the Grace, just start like right here, and start riding along the road very slowly, and you'll see that little gust of wind, and then just walk up and hit it. And yeah, it's just a different little scarab than the other ones. I don't know why that one's like that. It's kind of hidden. So very, very, very easy to miss. And I think I got it on accident my very first time I ever got it. I was fighting something and I just happened to hit it and that popped up and I don't know how I got it. Yeah, we're just grabbing goodies and checking out views and farming for stuff on the way up to this unbearable boss fight. I can't stand fighting these things. As a matter of fact... I'm going to bust out the Bloodhound's Fang for this one, because I think the Bloodhound's Fang's weapon art will stagger it. The Fallingstar beasts have a charged attack that they do where they, you know, just like a bull, they dig their hoof or whatever into the ground and they charge up at you, and if you do a charged attack, a charged heavy attack, or just some heavy attack in their face as they're coming at you, if you hit the frame right, then it'll stagger them, and you won't take any damage. If you miss it by a little bit, you'll still stagger them, but they also will hit you, and you'll go flying back. So that's a possibility. But, the Unsheath and the Moonveil's weapon art, those are both really awesome for staggering Fallingstar beasts. I believe the Bloodhound Finesse should do it. I don't think I've tried it with it, but I think I've seen other people do it. But otherwise, anything with a long reach and a heavy attack like Lion's Claw, that'll do really good. So I would put Lion's Claw on like a halberd, and that will definitely... It'll not only reach the hitbox easier... Man, did you just throw it? Ooh. And not only will reach the hitbox easier, but it'll add a distance so that it doesn't hit you and send you flying back. So the more distance you have between you and the hitbox, the better, because, yeah, so it's fidgety. It's not spot on like a parry hitbox is or anything like that. It can seem unfair, especially when we fight one up in the mountains and it can knock us off. Yeah, it's not fun. But anytime you see these little gravity holes, you know you got a gravity boss coming up like that. Just go through these little holes to get these workers out of the way so they don't come following us. And there's some goodies. There. Okay. Ooh, that's fast. Don't appreciate that, buddy. I believe that's an FP ball. Should be up here on this. Up on here? Yeah, so it's just an HP scarab, so don't worry, you're not missing anything around here. I know you hear that little jingle and you think, oh my gosh, Nash War nearby. And then you see the blue or the red and you get all bummed out because it's just a regular old healing scarab. But then also when you do need healing scarabs, they're never around. That was the only complaint really that I had, is I thought they could have put more healing scarabs in like dungeons and stuff like that, but okay, so we don't want to run all the way up there. We want to get this guy to come at us. Oops. Thought I had my knife selected. There we go. Here he comes. Okay. Let's get buffed, and we can summon our Mimic and buff him up right here too, so. These things are pretty susceptible to lightning damage, so go ahead and make some lightning pots. We'll still throw the fire ones too, but lightning seems to affect them a little bit more. We're also, if we need to, gonna pull out the Halo Scythe to do some range damage just in case things get hairy. Let's go ahead, and since we can buff our Mimic, we'll make one of these for the Mimic, because it not only spreads on you but also on your allies as well. Oh, we can't make lightning pots yet. My apologies. I'm thinking of my other file. Okay, so we can't do magic pots, then we'll just stick with fire. We can rot and poison him. I might rot him. I think the Bloodhound's Fang is going to do enough damage to get the job done quick, so. Yeah, I'm going to put some poison grease on it, just for fun. Get him poisoned. Nah, actually, I'm gonna stick with fire damage. So you can always coat the. Actually, if we're gonna go with fire, no, we can't, because I gotta put Bloodhound Flame on. I didn't do that because I'm a dork. Alright, so this is what we got. Oops. Bloodstain. Alright, buddy, stay still. You have to equip these before you can use them. Alright, hopefully I'm going to get a charged attack off on its charge if it charges right at me, but if it doesn't work, I'm going to go flying back like a dork. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, here we go. Nope. Oh, I got it. Yep, so it does work. Oh, I forgot to put fire on my... Watch out for the tail swipe. Oh, no. Oh, missed it. Rocks. So So digs its head in its ground in the ground. Oh shoot! I just rolled right into that one. Dork. Get away in here. Oh, that was fast. All right, buddy. All right, it's charging. So we can get in front of it and do it again. Nope, missed it. So yeah, like I said, it's tricky to try and get the timing down right. Man. I'm gonna die. Whew. Oh, okay. Oh. I was like, why am I doing that? Man, that was messy. Thank you, Mimic. I appreciate it. For that, we get some smithing stones for our troubles. So we can upgrade a bunch of stuff. But yeah. If that Bloodhound's Fang isn't doing the trick like it wasn't there, go ahead and bust out the Halo Scythe, start letting them have it. I should have done that in the first place just to make it quicker. Alright, let's go grab all the foliage around here. Some really good foliage up here. Yeah, you're going to do a lot better with strike damage against those guys. So if you can use hammers or anything like clubs, stuff like that, to do charge attacks and stagger them, it's going to do a lot better than the Bloodhound's Fang. I was just using that in hopes that I could stagger it, but wasn't doing as well as the Unsheath ability or the Moonveil's, whatchamacallit, or the weapon art for the Moonveil. Can't remember the name. Over here, get a bunch of Atlas Blooms. Very important to grab. Crystal Bud, some root resins. So don't jump up over onto these railings, and I'll show you why. And the reason why we're not going up this way yet is because of this. That is a tree sentinel, just like the one in the beginning. And that is another tree sentinel right next to it. That is a tree sentinel duo fight. So we're not doing that anytime soon. We're actually going to get a Ash of War, a parry Ash of War that's going to help us with that. It's called Golden Parry. It's the next best parry Ash of War under Carrying Retaliation, but it goes out in a wide arc. So Carrying Retaliation just goes really fast, but Golden Parry goes out in a wide arc. So think of this. So it goes out in a wide arc in front of you, and it makes it really easy to parry enemies that are on horses. So we're gonna grab that, and we're gonna parry those guys to death. It's gonna be fun. Okay, so now that we're done with that, we have a cave to tackle. So on our way to the cave, we have a room bear. But for this room bear, we are allowed to summon, so won't be too hard. Hey, Bach. I'll give you a bow, because I love you. Let's see if he's got any dialogue.
Is ready to make it.
Nah, he's just here.
Already,
I always hate saying bye to him because he says that. It makes me feel bad. It's like, come on, man, I gotta go. I got stuff to do. Make me feel like, but I thought you loved me. It's like, come on, man. You know I love you, Bach, but I gotta go. Melina's waiting. Alright, so up over there is an item that we're gonna go grab in a minute to finish Seluvis's quest and continue Ranni's quest. Hopefully I can finish Seluvis's quest by the end of this episode. That's my goal. Might have taken too long with a couple of these fights, though. There's some guys right here. Just go ahead and give them the butt fur. Whew. That little that he's doing is so annoying. Alright, so right here is the rune bear already. So let's get ready to rock and roll. We're just gonna try and bleed him as fast as we can. Oops. Get the mimic out. Sword dance him in the face. Go ahead and buff up right now. I don't think we have time. See what that tail one would do to it. Did some nasty damage. That's crazy. Alright, so rune bear's up there. Let's see how far we can go before it lets us summon. And that is another healing scarab, so. Where's our summon? We could have sworn we could summon for this. Yeah, we can. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and buff the mimic. Alright guys, let's oh, there's a bear right here. Let's throw some kookaries at the rune bear to get the blood loss built up. Oh, hit it in its face. Trying to get the blood loss and the frost built up. That hurt. Ooh, he's got gold eyes. That is freaky. There's the frost. Nope, ow, that hurt. There it is. Wow, 13,000 from that rune bear. That was a big boy. Alright, the mimic should follow us all the way up to the cave. Thank you, mimic. You rock as always. Believe it or not, we're actually going to find a summon that I think is better than the mimic. But it's much, much later. But once we do get her, yeah, I'm going to be using her a bunch. So up here we got a Miranda flower, so we got some bombs. And for some odd reason, this one doesn't respond after we take it down, so I don't know what the story is with it. Well, thank you, Mimic. Isn't that nice? So yeah, the Mimic, you know, it has whatever items you have, so if you make an item like that, then it's gonna... Watch out. It's gonna have it as an option, too. Ow. See a Mimic? Should be a few butterflies up here. Yes. And then, of course, the 2 tree sentinels that we don't want nothing to do with. Let's go ahead and head on into this cave. And then go ahead and pop a squad. Fill up your flasks. We got a lot of poison in here, so I would recommend having Flame Cleanse Me on. I'm going to go ahead and remove Beast Vitality. Alright. A lot of perfumers in here. It's pretty much the same layout as some of the other caves that we've been through. But instead of like dogs and wolves, it's perfumers. It's like literally this is the first layout of the very first cave that we went through with the dogs. Well, actually, no, the first cave we went through was High Road Cave, I forgot, but the first cave the game wants you to go through is pretty much shaped like this. And so we're going to sneak up and repost this perfumer so he's not spreading stuff all over his buddies. It's going to aggro that guy, it's fine. Fire too. Ow. And we want to go take this guy out again because he will spray stuff all over his buddy. now we can go pick up goodies. Oh. I don't think that was a static drop. I think that was from the Perfumer I took out. I don't think I've ever seen a Perfumer hood. Excuse me, Perfumer hood before one of my playthroughs. I need to get them. I just don't think I've ever got one. I think that was everything. Yes. Okay. On to the next room. Let's make a few more fire bombs before we go in. It's very important that we do this cave before we go over to the other side and do this Atlas. One called Atlas Tunnel, I believe. Atlas Tunnel will have so you want to set this guy on fire, and then we're going to go right down and fight the Perfumers while he's burning, so that way he doesn't spray poison everywhere. This guy's gonna, oh, hit the wrong button. Okay, now he's down. Go ahead and light this guy up. We just don't want the Perfumers to start spraying those bubbles on the, ooh, it was close, on the plants, because that'll give them damage negation for one of our hits, and it buffs them up and makes them stronger. So I always want to take them down before they can pull that perfume off. And then we come back up here, jump down into this little clo right here. Lots of goodies and some chests. Budding cave moss, it's super important. We need as many of those as we can get. I believe that was everything. Yes. So right here, oh no, not right here. One more room. Oh no, this is it. Okay, so right here, across the way is actually another dungeon. And people will do that dungeon first, and they'll come out and they'll start getting hit by this thing that we're about to fight. And the reason why is because you need to come here first and take this thing out. It's a lot easier to do it from here. So right now, don't plan on taking any hits, so let's put on the Blessed Dew Talisman, try and get our health up. So as soon as we come around the corner, as you can see from this message, be wary of left. So right around the corner is one of these. It's gonna bombard us with rocks. And then we'll step back out, hit it again. And it would bombard you if you went out onto this railing over here in the other dungeon. It would start hitting you with all this. And there's not much you can do from that direction because it's too far away. But from here we can hit it pretty good, as you can see. Just come back around this corner to hide from this bombardment and come out and give it another one. Just throw one more little bomb at it, should do the trick. There we go. Man, those things are freaky, aren't they? And so now that's down. So when we go into the Atlas Tunnel and we do that cave, we're not going to be getting bombarded. So people will do that cave first, and then they'll get hit by this creature. And you can hit it from down there, but it's not too easy. So it's much better to do from up here. What I'm about to do is super dangerous. You don't have to if you don't want to, because all there's over there is this cave moss. So don't need to do this if you don't want to. There's really, literally nothing over here except for this, which I think is worth it, but if you were scared you're going to fall, don't do it. Should be some plants in here. Yes. Let's go take these guys out. And then we have, I believe, an Omenkiller and a Miranda flower. Weird boss combination, but I believe that's what's in here. So summon the Mimic right away, and then gang up on the Omenkiller, and then throw a bomb at the Miranda flower so that it doesn't spew poison all over the room. I don't think we're gonna need this, but might as well keep it on. I'll take the Blessed Dew Talisman off. Down. So I'm not gonna make any more perfume bottles and stuff like that. It's gonna be a pretty easy boss fight, so we're gonna start saving these for more difficult encounters, ones that we're really gonna struggle with and need all the help we can get. chance to heal. Don't you start smashing me. Jeez. Oh! I was like, why can't I move? I'm out of stamina. There we go. Mimic, thank you for your help as always. Alright, now we get the Great Omenkiller. It's a great axe with blood loss. Pretty cool. Alright, you guys. Like I said, we're saving the Tree Sentinel duo till we get a few more tools that'll help us with that. So now we're going to ride up over here to grab a grace, and then we're going to spawn off and take care of some quests. Alright, so right up the road past Corin. We're actually going to need to save some of this runes here, not spend it on another level up, because we need to, or at least I need to purchase everything in Seluvis's shop in order to progress this quest, so let's go ahead and go grab the grace next to the scariest part of the entire game. Hands down. I went through these woods at nighttime and I felt like I was playing a Resident Evil game or a horror game. I was literally just too scared to see what was around the corner. All the noises you hear, it's pretty disturbing. Very, very disturbing woods. My least favorite woods in the entire game. That's including the woods with a bunch of rune bears walking around, chasing you. I think it's always worth it to take these guys out, especially up here in Altus Plateau and Mt.Gelmir, because they can drop smithing stones like that. There you go. That's exactly why they're worth taking out. So I know they're kind of lackluster enemies at this point, but man, knock it off. It's like, don't you do your little thing where you get stuck and I can't move. Don't like it. Yeah, that's the reason it's worth taking these guys out. It's because you can get smithing stones from them for your troubles. And you can upgrade more weapons. Which actually, now that I got that smithing stone 3, I think I can upgrade my Uchi Katana. Should be some loots over here. Oh. Not sure if you can hear this noise. Those woods are always foggy. They made it that way for a reason. So we're gonna go through it at daytime, but it's gonna turn nighttime halfway through us getting through it, and it's gonna be pretty freaky. Let's go ahead and talk to this finger crone.
You, please, I can read them. Your fingers, please, your fingers. Oh, bless you. To the east, ruins of gold. To the west, the serpent's sacrilege. Wherever the path leads, so shall you follow. Wherever the path leads, only more sorrow. 'Tis a curse. A curse. The curse of Queen Marika.
Okie dokie then. Thank you for that. This will take you across the bridge to another place that we're going to get to at a different point. if I don't, just rule of thumb, if I don't take a portal, you probably shouldn't either in this game. I know which portals we need to take to get everything done that we need to get done.
Are you here as a customer?
Of course. Alright, so this guy's got some goodies. Grab his book. Grab these 3 stone sword keys. Some really cool looking shields if you want to. Yeah, I'm going to grab the scorpion one. I love the way that one looks. I'll grab these notes later. You can come back for electricity bolts or lightning bolts here. Very, very, very useful. So put a mark.
I must.
Very good. See how it got dark as we came towards these woods? It's doing that on purpose. It literally is going to get so dark that we can't see, so that it freaks you out, because there's some monsters down there that are not fun to deal with. Okay, so let's go. Okay. Now we are going to go finish Seluvis's quest. So let's go to Ranni's Rise. Remember, we have the black finger knife print, so we cannot talk to Ranni. If we talk to Ranni, it will immediately close off Seluvis's quest, and we cannot get the item that we want to get from him. So do not talk to Ranni. Do not go up to Ranni. We're going to continue to ignore Ranni until Seluvis's quest is complete. What's up, puppy? I always leave those alone because I feel like they're kind of like Ranni's wolves, or maybe Blythe's. Just the fact that they're near Ranni's Rise causes me to not really go after them or hunt their bones. Well, make sure you're grabbing these fireflies, especially if you're on the intelligence side of things. Like I said, we gotta buy some stuff from Seluvis to get some triggers in his quest to happen, so make sure you got a few runes, or at least willing to crack a few runes.
Begging for another lick. The remain. Begging for another. The remain.
Okay, so now I believe we gotta go and we already talked to Blythe. I think we just have to reload the area, but I'm gonna go talk to Sellen real quick. See if there's any other sorceries I can buy from her.
There you are. Shall we commence?
I need all these eventually. There we go.
Our art draws upon the powers embedded in Glintstone. But what is the nature of such power? Glintstone is the amber of the cosmos. Golden amber contains the remnants of ancient life and houses its vitality, while Glintstone contains residual life and thus the vitality of the stars. It should not be forgotten that Glintstone's sorcery is the study of the stars and the life therein, a fact lost on most sorcerers these days. Your appetite for learning is impressive. You make me proud to have grown little legs so readily. You must have a fabulous teacher.
Okay, let's go see if Sitting in Grace has triggered some. Sometimes it just doesn't kick in. I've done this 4 times, and there's been a few times where I've had to quit out the game and just reload it over and over and keep talking to Seluvis until it finally pops up. So it's a little aggravating, but it's well worth it. Out of all the Scorpion charms, this is the only way to get the one for the magic, for your intelligence. So we'll get Lightning, Fire, and Holy Scorpion charm, and then the magic one comes from Seluvis, so we gotta do this. It's super easy to miss. And I don't know how I didn't mess it up my first playthrough. I got lucky.
Begging for a...
Oh, okay. I know what we need to do. My apologies. I completely forgot. We need to go into his secret chambers. So up in here was just the arteria leaf for this ruins right here, but if we go up to the chambers right outside of Ranni's Rise, we're going to need to go look at that message, and that'll trigger the next step. I forgot about that. Alright, so right in here. Seluvis puppet, do not touch. No, this one looks like a certain player that fights Melina. If we hit this wall. Master. And so now that we've done that, it should trigger the next step in his quest. So let's go talk to him. Then he's going to go ask us to pick him up a Starlight Shard, which is why we left the Starlight Shard over by the Rise in the Weeping Peninsula, so we could just go nab it. Otherwise, we would have to literally go into the next area of the game to get a Starlight Shard, which is not too convenient.
Begging for another...
Your chambers.
You break into a man's private chambers, rooting about as you please. Your oafishness knows no bounds. Fine and well. You tricked Nepheli and had her drink the potion. I believe that makes you my accomplice. You yearn for a puppet of your own, hmm? Well, normally one of your stature would never be allowed. But perhaps I can make a very special exception. Now, choose.
It doesn't matter which one you choose, you're going to get the other one in a minute.
Begging for another...
Okay. So now that we got that puppet from him, we're going to go sit at the Grace and then go talk to him again. This is the part where it's kind of tricky getting his dialogue to pop up. You might have to reload the game, you might have to sit down to Grace a few times. I'm hoping, you know, with 1.09 being patched in, that they really fixed it and it won't do it. But if we go up and there's no extra dialogue, then that means that we have to sit down at the side of Grace again. He needs to ask us to go pick up a Starlight Shard for him before we go do it. And if all else fails, I think we might have to go talk to Gideon. But I don't think that's part of it, if I remember correctly.
Begging for another...
Bought his sorceries. So let's go talk to Gideon. I'm not too sure if he's got any dialogue left for this, because we gave him the potion.
Journey to the tooth in you, maybe.
No, yep. So we just gotta sit down at the side of Grace again. I'll try quitting out the game if that doesn't work. Sorry about this.
Begging for an...
There we go.
What's that? You want another puppet? Quite the keen paramour, aren't we? But I'm afraid each and every one is like a child to me. I can hardly just give them away. Oh dear, what's to be done? Why don't you fetch me some Starlight Shards? If you can manage it, I'll gladly prepare a new puppet for you. The soul of every puppet has its own ambience. You'll soon come to know once you possess a few. And once each's predilections are known to you, the better you will be able to love them. Oh yes, you have much to look forward to further down this road.
Now, I believe at this point, if you had given the potion to Nefeli or Dung Eater, which you can do at the end of Dung Eater's quest, you would be able to get them as a puppet, and then it's one of the two. You can either get Dung Eater or Nefeli, and then a little bit later, after his quest is far over, you'll get the other one. But that's only if you've given them the potion. So you can only get one through per playthrough, and then you have to do New Game Plus to get the other ones. But this one, we're not going to get either of them, but it's going to keep both of them alive, and we're going to get Dung Eater's ending, and we're going to get Nefeli's reward for ending her quest. If you get the puppet for either of them, you won't get either of those. So this is what we're going to get the other one. And you do have to trade Starlight shards for these, but it's fine.
You're proving to be... I've not had an apprentice for a very long time indeed. Begging for another...
Oh, how weird. Well, let's go. No, I'll do it in a second. That's so weird. It didn't make me pick up a Starlight shard, so I think they might have taken that out completely.
How's the puppet I gave you? A thing of exquisite craft, is it not?
That's so weird. This used to not be here about the scheme. You had to go pick up a Starlight shard to get that, so let's go ahead and do it.
Perhaps you'd be interested in a little scheme of mine. It will produce the finest of puppets, which I aspire to cherish with these very hands. A ploy to fool even Lady Ranni. How does that sound?
Say you're interested. I know you don't want to because Ronnie's awesome, but say you're interested.
I knew I had you pegged. You're just like me. Then I'd like you to procure something. A rather unique Starlight shard that glistens with amber. With that, my special draught will gleam with nectar sweetness. And even a demigod would be slave to its charms. Procure it for me. The rather unique Starlight shard that glistens with amber. With that, my special draught will gleam with nectar sweetness. And even a demigod.
It's just the same thing. Alright, and so now we're going to go pick up exactly what he wants, but I'll go ahead and pick up that Starlight shard while I'm at it. That's so weird. Normally that about scheme option won't show up. If it's not showing up for you, and you've done everything up to this point that I've done too, go and pick up the Starlight shard, and that should kick it in. So I'm just really surprised that they either patched that or just changed it completely. So it's very odd. So let's go grab our Starlight shard. Remember, you want to save these for the last boss. You really do. You only get like a handful of these. I mean like 20 of them in the game. So not even that. I think there's only like 15 or something. So very, very few, but they're really, really awesome. Gradually restores your FP while you're in battle, so... Or whether you're in battle or not, just gradually restores your FP, so you want to save them for pretty much the last two bosses of the game. That's another reason we want to have high endurance when we're fighting the last boss, is because there's a lot of running involved. Way too much. Okay. There's a couple of different ways to get down into here. We're just going to go up and drop in, and then we'll ride out, but otherwise the entrance is down. Sort of like we're headed towards that rune bear that we just fought, but instead of going to the rune bear, you turn left and there's a path to go down to where the Amber Starlight shard is. I'm just going up here to grab these goodies and stuff real quick. All the way up to the edge. I'm no gripes with you guys. Oh, I'm stuck. Alright, so right down here is where we need to go. A lot of squids in here. No big octopus, but a lot of tiny ones for some reason. Make sure you pick up all these sacramental buds. Here's the amber starlight. And this is just a dead end. After we pick up all the foliage out of here, we can just ride on out. Remember, it's a lot easier to see foliage in the nighttime like that. Especially in the Altus Plateau. Man, the foliage blends in really well with the ground in the background, so if you're hunting for foliage in the Altus Plateau, I recommend you do it at nighttime. Alright, so this is the path that we come out of. Let's go talk to Seluvis now. Grab these butterflies. So I'm going to recommend that you do not administer the Draught to Ranni, but I'm going to, just to show you what Absolution does in receiving Absolution, because it brings up some dialogue with Miriam, or Miriam, whatever the Turtle Pope's name is. I always pronounce his name wrong or forget it. It's because everybody just calls him the Turtle Pope. I think it's Miriam. Okie dokie. Let's go report to Seluvis. And he should give us the charm. Hey, that guy's got a scythe.
Begging for another Well, you managed to lay your hands on it. The blessed day is finally upon us. Goodness gracious, the way it glistens. Utterly enchanting. To think this was once a demigod's very fate. My, oh my, oh my.
Talk to him again.
Ah. Are you still here? Ah, yes, I should give you your reward. Yeah, please. It's all yours. It's splendid work. It's just marvelous.
Alright, raises our magic attack and then lowers our damage negation by 10%.
Just you wait. The merriment is soon to begin. The scheme I promised is to be revealed very shortly.
Okay, so we got all of his sorceries, got both his puppets. Let's go one last time, talk to him before we go see Ranni. Crystal buds. Always make sure you grab those crystal buds on the way back down. That's how we make our shield grease. And it's how you make magic grease too, just in case you're putting magic grease on your Bloodhound's Fang. In case you want intelligence, dexterity, but you like the Bloodhound's Fang more than the Moonveil.
Good. It's finally complete. The perfection of my draught, gleaming nectar sweet. Give it to Ranni and ensure she drinks it. The dead-eyed doll lets down her guard in your presence, rather remarkably. Though she might dip her hands in the dirt and feign that icy persona, she's a frail, gentle girl at heart.
Alright, and so that is everything we need to hear from Seluvis. Let's go give it to Ranni, the Draught. So, oh, don't do this. Okay, you're not going to go do it. I'm going to show you what to do, but I'm going to do it. Just to show you what Absolution does. I'm going to ruin Ranni's quest, and then I'm going to fix it. So it'll give you the option to. If you just click no, it'll act like you never got it. And then if you talk to Ranni, after you sit down at a grace, it'll continue her quest, and Seluvis will be dead. I'm going to administer it to show you what happens. Do not do it.
Well, this is a most unpleasant awakening. The depths of wickedness never fail to surprise me. I am saddened that thou wouldst succumb to such depravity. Led astray by Seluvis, with devious tonic in hand. Didst thou think to have thy way with me? Begone. Hapless scum. I won't have another whiff of thy rotten breath.
If I keep talking to her, she will kill me in one hit. And no, I'm not going to show you that, because I do not want to waste the rune arc. We're going to go report to Seluvis, and then I'm going to go receive Absolution to fix Ranni's quest. And that Absolution will bring up some dialogue, just so you guys can learn a little bit about the lore. And then we will continue on with Ranni's quest, as Seluvis's will be done. Here's what happens when you administer it and then go report to Seluvis. Just so you guys know. If I sit down at the side of Grace as well, Ranni will be gone when I go back up to her rise. Ooh, Crystal Bud. Can't forget that. And basically her quest will be over for the rest of the game. Unless I go receive Absolution to fix it, it will be considered broken. And there's our boy, Seluvis. Good and dead for what he did to Ranni. So pick up his bell bearing and we get his armor set. So now that Seluvis's quest is done, I'm going to go to the Church of Vows and receive Absolution. I'm also going to see if there's any. I think I got a couple of books I need to turn into. Turtle Pope.
Greetings.
Oh, I don't have any books. I should start buying these. Got all the incantations. So we already went through both these dialogues, so go over here and receive Absolution. Use Celestial Dew. Your sins are absolved. And now Ranni's quest is now fixed. When we go back up there, Ranni will be there.
Is there something else?
And now this is here about Absolution.
Ah, I see you have undergone Absolution. The miracle that blossoms from these grounds. Good. As such, the bond you may have strained or severed has been restored to its rightful state of harmony. Be mindful not to take for granted the serenity restored by this miracle, and take care never to break a bond again.
And so just to remind you that it does not work with all breaks. When you're going through talking to people and doing quests, there's sometimes triggers that will not be fixed by Absolution. You can kill certain NPCs or end their quests at certain points, and if you go receive Absolution, it will do nothing to fix it. So you're really playing with fire, just going around hitting NPCs and stuff and doing their quests out of order or anything like that. Unfortunately for us, though, this is one that can be fixed, and I think they did it intentionally so that you would do it as part of her or Seluvis's quest, and then that would have you receive Absolution so you can get that dialogue. But now here's Ranni.
Ah, it was thee, not blithe it seemeth. Even in my slumber I sensed it. It is in thy possession, is it not? The hidden treasure of Nokron. My thanks. Finally all the pieces are in place. Soon must I begin my journey. Upon the dark path only I may tread. Ah, but before I leave, I must entrust thee with this. Take it. My discarded flesh lieth beyond the seal unlocked by it, upon which is carved the curse mark of thy desire. I can fathom what thy purpose might be. Neither of us is welcomed by the brighter path, I see. You may leave now. It was but brief, but thou gavest me fine service. What is it? Thy purpose in approaching me was to obtain the curse mark, was it not? You may leave now. I too am to depart on a journey. Upon the dark path only I may tread.
That's it. So let's go sit down at the side of Grace. And then come back up. I'm going to push this episode about 10 minutes, a little bit longer, past the 2-hour mark, to get us down to the next city underground that we need to clear out next episode. So we got a little bit more to do before we end this episode. Side of Grace. And now, the other rise in the Three Sisters is open, the one that we couldn't get into before. So let's go check it out. And the next episode, we will also do the study hall. So the study hall that we fought that wizard in that was upside down, or no, it wasn't upside down, but it was the study hall in which we chased that wizard up the stairs and then climbed up onto the rafters, and we saw that elevator that was upside down. We're gonna go there and we're gonna turn that building completely upside down so that we can take that elevator over to the Divine Tower to go check out Ronnie's dead body. Kind of grim, but that's the path ahead. And it's not for Ronnie's quest, it's actually for Fia's quest. At this point, it has nothing to do with Ronnie's quest. You can complete Ronnie's quest entirely without doing this next part that we're going to do next episode, so it's kind of interesting. And up here is the reason we've been checking behind us when we climb up these rises, because there should be a chest with a really cool armor set in here. Right there. Now, you can cosplay as Ronnie. That's her set. So now you got Ronnie's armor set. Pretty cool. Then we come up here to a portal that we are going to take. I'm hoping in like the next 10 minutes I can make it to the next Grace that I want to get to. So, let's go ahead and get through this stuff really quick. Grab this miniature Ranni doll. Back here is just a dead end with a whatchamacallit. I thought it used to lead you down to Ainsel River, but I think that's actually a coffin right here. So this coffin doesn't do anything, just a dead end over here. Just Dukist Urbas and Silver Fireflies around here. If we go to this side of Grace and sit down, we can talk to Ranni again. And then over there, you can see it dangling right above my head is another one of those bugs that we just fought in the Perfumer's cave. So, down here we got Talk to Miniature Ranni. Click on it 3 times.
Oh, a dogged fellow, aren't we? Or is it merely thy habit to talk to dolls? Fine. Fine. I hadn't expected any soul to recognize me in this guise. But now the cat is out the bag. I cannot allow thee thy freedoms. Perform for me a service as recompense. Eliminate the baleful shadows which prowl these lands. The name of Ranni the Witch is already sullied by thee. I will not brook disobedience in this matter.
And she says the same thing, I think, after that.
Perform for me. Eliminate the name of I will.
So she wants us to take out an invader in this land, which we will not be doing anytime soon. And I'm not going to tell you who it is. So let's go ahead and summon our Mimic. And then we're going to head straight for that bug and take it down to get a very much needed smithing stone. It's the first one we've seen of this number. So run first over to this wall. Then run over to the next one. Just let your Mimic do its thing. And then after it's done, start hucking Nicholas rings at it. Oh, it's too far away. Take it away. It's fine. There we go. And now we get a first Somber Smithing Stone 7. And the reason we're going through this area right now is because we're going to pick up 2 more of those. So this area may be a little bit tough, as you can see right here. I didn't do much damage to that guy. He's just going to tank right through it. He'll actually do some damage to me. But we're going to pick up a lot of good upgrading material here. Not only for our weapons, but for our spirit summons as well. So we're going to go through down to this city called Nokron, and we're going to clear out that entire city. We're going to tough it through. I'm going to show you some easy ways to deal with the enemies that are down there, and we're going to get through it. Let's come down over here. We got a Miranda flower we're going to take out. Now, this Miranda flower is nuts. It is a Miranda flower that is just really hyped up. It'll bash around super fast. Look at that. Look at how fast it thrashes around. So yeah, be really careful going up near it, because it will do some serious physical damage really fast. And it builds up, as you can see, madness instead of poison or anything else. Ooh, that lightning hurt. Oh my gosh. Wow. I didn't think I was that close to it. Touch my Mimic. And over here we got some spirit ashes guarded by these guys, so be careful. Come up over to the ledge and grab them. So now we got our own claimant, these guys. We can summon them. Go ahead and let your Mimic take them out if you want. Not too worried about these guys. I'm just grabbing the loot so that we can get on out of this area. Stone sword key. You can leave the Duke to her, but just make sure we grab all of the ghost glow boards in here. And remember, when the Mimic uses items, it's only from their, inventory. Obviously, it's not going to come out of yours. So if you make 15 bombs, they'll have 15 bombs to use. So we're just making sure we're grabbing all the goodies that are laying around here. I think that should be everything. I think there's one more. So grab that and we'll head on out of here. We're going to lose our Mimic as soon as we go down the hill. That's okay. Thank you, Mimic. You rock, man. So these guys shouldn't follow you once you get to here, but we got some ants to deal with now, so if you're on the faith side of things, bust out your Frenzy Flame. Just peel them off the wall with it. And see, these ants are stronger. It took an entire burst and didn't even take it down, so it's a little bit, we should be at about like level 110 before we come down here, but we're gonna tough it out because it's well worth it. We got some awesome items, awesome weapons, we gotta come down here first. But this part's gonna be a little bit scary. I'm gonna go ahead and make a what do you call it? I'm gonna make a perfume bottle to give us a protective bubble, because this thing that's coming out might kill us. You can see it's behind that one right there. It's got a hard plate on its head, so it's like kind of like a pumpkin head, but the ant version of it. So we got to get behind its plate on its head and hit its body in order to take it down. Otherwise, it's just gonna tank all of our damage, and if it connects with us, it's going to melt our health bar very, very quickly. It does really big physical damage, so I'm actually going to take this too to give us as much boost as we can. We gotta just try and get behind it and give it the business. So, here goes nothing. So don't lock on, just try and roll behind it. So you can hit its body, like that. So don't lock on, because if you lock on, you're gonna get stuck in front of its head, and it's, yeah, gonna be annoying. So if you go down to it, you know, it's okay. Maybe try and, you know, aggro some of them, and then as they run out to attack you, just run through here, because you really want to get through here. It's well worth it to come out here. Oh, what? Don't know how he heard me. Gotta get quieter boots. So, this is a familiar place. We've already been here. That's where we fought a malformed star when we came through this place. But this is a ledge that we couldn't get up to before, but now we can. So go ahead and jump on down here. And so down here is where we had to run up the ruins and then hide under the rocks as it was shooting rocks at us. Well, up above it, and if you haven't fought in that thing yet, then you gotta fight it right here. But since we already did, we don't gotta fight it now. But up above it, come very carefully, because if you fall down, you're gonna have to go all the way back and fight that ant again. So very carefully, come over here and get one of the best dexterity weapons in the game. This is for dexterity intelligence users. It's a curved blade that does some awesome magic damage. Its weapon art just, it's like the sparks for the perfume bottles that those perfumers keep spraying at us. It does that, only it kind of arcs in front of you, and it covers a wide radius, so it's really good. Make sure you grab that Somber Smithing Stone 6 too. And now we're gonna go head down and grab a grace and call it an episode. Everything worked out pretty much perfectly. I was hoping to get to this is exactly where I was hoping to end the episode, so pretty nasty, this huge pile of bodies. These ants are just down here gorging themselves. It's pretty disturbing to me. Welcome to Nokron City. Make sure you grab this glove warp before you go up the elevator. So I'm not going to level up in between episodes, because I leveled up just fine here. But we're going to go down, grab that grace. Don't go down this way, because there's an ant over there on top of or a perfumer on top of an ant. Actually, they're not perfumers, they're swordstresses, I think they're called. Yeah, they're pretty annoying. They do some serious damage, and these guys are gonna, it's gonna be some trouble. We're gonna have to climb up on some ledges and cheese some guys from high up spots, because this area is a little bit tougher than we should be. Even at the level that we're at, 98, almost 100, like it's still, here, just let me show you. Let me show you how much a weapon art does to this. Like over in Lindell, we went up to a knight and did a weapon art, and it pretty much knocked it off. But this thing's just gonna get mad. Oh, that frost did some damage. But you can see it's still alive. It survived that entire weapon art, and it'll do some damage if it hits me. And then this thing is still alive, so yeah, it's a little tough down here. And it gets tougher as we go down into the river. There's gonna be a lot of electricity blobs that blow up and do some very vicious damage. There's a couple of ants with the heads for plates. There's iron balls that chase us like Indiana Jones. So this place isn't gonna be fun, but it's exactly what we're gonna do at the beginning of the next episode, because there's tons of amazing stuff for upgrading our spirit summons and our weapons in here that we need to get. So we will go all the way through to here, and then we'll stop, and we will jump over to the tower. And since we got the statue, we can turn it upside down, go over to the Divine Tower. There's a boss on the way there that I'm going to have to introduce you guys to. And then, excuse me. And then after that, we will jump into the most terrifying forest in the entire game and continue on to the Altus Plateau. So making progress, guys, making progress. As always, in between episodes, I recommend that you go and farm for the materials, your crafting materials. So don't forget the 2 spots down here. This one for melted mushrooms, this one for melted mushrooms and silver tear husks. Then over here, there's a lot of glintstone fireflies for magic pots. And then you got some Fergal Bloom, the electrical flowers for lightning pots, which we can't make yet, but trust me, you want to start stocking up on those because lightning pots are awesome. And then over here for the octopuses for the ovaries, so we can make those red perfume bottles. Over here for foliage. And then we got Jarberg for more foliage. And then there's smoldering butterflies all around here in Easter Tableland. And then over here is the budding moss that we need for the white and for the red perfume bottles that we're making. And then there's herbas there. And then make sure you just go around the Altus Plateau. I recommend just starting here and working all the way down to the Grace, or at least this Grace right here, and collecting those Atlas Bloom flowers. And need as many of those as we can start getting. So recommend you do that. Just, go through each area twice and just collect some foliage and collect some supplies, and then spend whatever you have left. I'm going to spend this 18,000 I have on smithing stones and supplies and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and talk to Ranni and end the episode. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and if I don't know the answer, I'll find you the answer. I love helping people with this game, so it does not matter how confused you are. It doesn't matter how silly you think your question is. If you want to ask me a question, please feel free to. If you are a content creator and you know how I can make this better, and you have suggestions or just anything you want to teach me, please just let me know in the comments. I'm looking to learn from anybody. But until the next time, be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other. I love you guys. Here's Ranni.
Let us speak of the past a while. I was once an Empyrean, of the demigods. Only I, Omenkiller, and Melina could claim that title. Each of us was chosen by our own 2 fingers, as a candidate to succeed Queen Marika, to become the new god of the coming age, which is when I received Blythe, in the form of a vassal tailored for an Empyrean. But I would not acquiesce to the 2 fingers. I stole the rune of death, slew mine own Empyrean flesh, casting it away. I would not be controlled by that thing. The 2 fingers and I have been cursing each other ever since, and the baleful shadows are their assassins. I turned my back on the 2 fingers, and we have each been cursing the other since. The baleful shadows